The moment Alex stepped through the doors of Riverdale High, the whispers began. New kid, outsider, target. It was always the same at every school, and by now Alex knew the routine. Keep your head down, speak only when necessary, and above all, never reveal what you're capable of, not unless you have no other choice. If only the group of seniors watching from across the hall knew what those choices had cost at the last school. Alex adjusted the worn backpack strap, digging into one shoulder, and moved toward the administration office, feeling the weight of stairs like physical pressure against the back of the neck. 3 schools in 2 years. Dad had promised this would be the last move. Alex wasn't holding out much hope. "You must be Alexandra Chen," the secretary said, peering over rhinestone glasses. "Alex," came the automatic correction. "Just Alex." The secretary's lips pursed slightly. "Well, just Alex. Here's your schedule and a map of the campus. First period starts in 15 minutes. I've assigned Megan to show you around today." She gestured to a girl with a bright smile and copper hair who'd materialized in the doorway. "Welcome to Riverdale," Megan said with genuine enthusiasm. "Let me see your schedule." "Oh, cool. We have 3 classes together." As Megan led the way through crowded hallways, Alex took mental notes of exits, open spaces, bottlenecks, old habits. The tour ended at Alex's assigned locker, where Megan checked her phone and frowned. "I need to run to the library before class. Will you be okay finding room 204? Alex nodded, and Megan disappeared into the stream of students. The corridor was beginning to empty as the warning bell rang. Alex spun the combination lock, testing it twice before opening the locker. A shadow fell across the metal door. "That's not your locker," a deep voice said. Alex turned to face a boy built like a linebacker, flanked by 2 equally imposing friends. The leader wore a Letterman jacket with Carson stitched across the back, his dark hair styled in an expensive cut that suggested both money and vanity. "Number 124, Alex said, pointing to the small metal plate on the locker. "Assigned by the office." Carson's eyes narrowed. "That's been my extra locker since freshman year. Administration must have screwed up." One of his friends snickered. "Yeah, they made 2 mistakes. Giving you Brad's locker and letting you in." Alex recognized the moment for what it was. A test, a claiming of territory. Dad's words echoed in memory. "Choose your battles carefully. Most aren't worth fighting." "I'll request a different one," Alex said, closing the locker and stepping away. Carson's hand shot out, shoving Alex hard against the metal. "That's right. And while you're at it, watch yourself in the halls. Accidents happen to people who don't pay attention." A familiar heat bloomed in Alex's chest, but years of training kicked in. "Breathe. Center yourself. This isn't the place." "Got it," Alex replied, voice deliberately steady. Carson seemed disappointed by the lack of reaction. He knocked the books from Alex's hands before sauntering away with his friends, their laughter echoing down the corridor. Alex knelt to gather the scattered papers, noticing a pair of worn sneakers stopping to help. "Sorry about that," said a lanky boy with glasses. "Carson and his crew are grade A jerks. I'm Noah." "Alex." "Yeah, I heard we were getting a new student. Word travels fast here." Noah handed over the last of the papers. "Carson's the wrestling team captain. His dad's on the school board, so he thinks he owns the place." "It's fine," Alex said. "Not my first welcome committee." Noah raised an eyebrow. "You move around a lot?" "You could say that." The final bell rang, and both hurried to their classes. Alex slipped into room 204 just as the teacher was closing the door, feeling the weight of 27 curious stares. "Ah, our new student," the teacher said, a man in his 50s with a trim beard and intelligent eyes. "I'm Mr. Abernathy. Why don't you introduce yourself?" Alex stepped forward reluctantly. "I'm Alex Chen, moved here from Sacramento. Not much else to tell." A voice from the back called out, "What? You in witness protection or something?" Scattered laughter followed. As Alex took the only empty seat, coincidentally in front of Carson, who wasted no time kicking the back of the chair throughout Mr. Abernathy's lecture on Macbeth. By lunch, Alex had mapped most of the school and catalogued the social hierarchy. Carson and his crew, mostly athletes, occupied the central tables in the cafeteria. Megan sat with the theater kids. Noah was with a small group playing cards in the corner. Alex chose an empty table near the exit. "Mind if I join?" Noah appeared with a tray. Alex nodded to the empty chair. "Free country." "So what really brings you to our scenic middle-of-nowhere town?" Noah asked, between bites of something the cafeteria claimed was lasagna. Alex poked at a similar substance. "Dad's job, he's a security consultant, goes where the contracts are." "And your mom?" "Not in the picture." Noah seemed to sense the boundary. "Well, Riverdale's not so bad once you learn who to avoid. Like Carson and his disciples, especially Damon and Tyler." Noah nodded toward the two boys flanking Carson. "Damon's the one with the buzz cut. His dad's the police chief. Tyler's the one with the face that looks like it's permanently smelling something bad. 3 of them have been terrorizing kids since elementary school. Why doesn't anyone stop them?" Noah laughed without humor. "Carson's dad donates the new football uniforms. Damon's dad handles the teenagers being teenagers complaints. And Tyler's just a psycho who enjoys making people miserable. Nobody wants to cross them." After school, Alex found Carson and his friends leaning against the locker. Against Alex's locker. "Excuse me," Alex said quietly. "Oh, look, it speaks," Carson said. "You know, I was thinking about our little chat this morning. I don't think I made myself clear." He pushed off the locker and stepped closer. "This isn't just about the locker, it's about respect. I'm not looking for trouble." "Too late." Carson's smile didn't reach his eyes. "See, word is, you were kicked out of your last school. That true?" Alex's body tensed involuntarily. "How could they know that?" "I'll take that as a yes," Carson continued. "So what was it? Drugs? Fighting? Both? I need to catch my bus." Tyler moved to block the exit. "Bus can wait, we're having a conversation here." Alex calculated odds, distances, potential witnesses, 20 students in the hall, a teacher in a classroom 30 feet away, too public for what Carson clearly wanted to happen. "Tomorrow," Alex said. "After school, we can talk then." Carson seemed surprised by the suggestion. "Sure, behind the gym. We'll have a proper Riverdale welcoming committee for you." They parted to let Alex pass, their laughter following all the way to the bus. That evening, in the small apartment that still smelled of fresh paint and cardboard boxes, Alex rapped heads with familiar precision before attacking the heavy bag hanging from a reinforced beam. "Rough first day?" Dad asked from the doorway, still in his work suit but with the tie loosened. Alex threw a 3-punch combination that sent the bag swinging. The usual. Michael Chen watched his daughter with knowing eyes. At 45, he still moved with the quiet efficiency of the fighter he'd once been. Before he'd become a widower, before he'd had to raise Alex alone, before they'd started running from one town to the next. "Want to talk about it?" "Not really." Another combination, this time ending with a roundhouse kick. "Alex," his voice took on that tone, the one that meant he wasn't asking as Dad, but as Sifu Chen. She caught the bag, stilling it. "Some guys think they run the school. Typical stuff. I didn't engage." But they've somehow heard about Sacramento already." Michael's face tightened. "That's impossible. Those records were sealed." "Well, someone unsealed them." Alex unwrapped her hands. "They want to meet tomorrow, behind the gym. And you'll walk away," she finished. "Like we agreed." He nodded, but his eyes remained troubled. 2 more months until graduation, then college, a fresh start. "You said that about this place too." "I know," he sighed. "I'm trying, Lexi," she offered, a small smile at the childhood nickname. "I know, Dad." After dinner, Alex searched online for information about Carson and his friends. The Riverdale Herald's archives revealed a pattern. Carson Williams, wrestling champion 3 years running. Damon Foster, suspended twice for undisclosed infractions. Charges mysteriously dropped. Tyler Reed, known troublemaker with a juvie record that had been expunged. And most telling, Daniel King, former student hospitalized last year after what the paper called a fall downstairs at school. Daniel had transferred to another district afterward. Alex closed the laptop. Decision made. The next day passed. In a blur of classes and sideways glances, word had spread about the after-school meeting. By sixth period, even Megan had heard. "You can't go," she whispered during study hall. Last year, they cornered a kid named Daniel. He ended up with 3 broken ribs and a concussion. "Daniel King," Alex said. "I read about him. Then you know what they're capable of. Just don't show up." "That won't solve anything. Neither will getting beaten up." Megan's voice rose, drawing a sharp look from the supervising teacher. After the final bell, Noah intercepted Alex in the hallway. "Everyone's talking about Carson's ambush. Just go home, Alex. It's not worth it. I appreciate the concern, but I need to handle this." Noah studied her face. "You're actually going, aren't you? See you tomorrow." Noah. Behind the gym, a small crowd had gathered. Mostly Carson's friends, but also curious onlookers drawn by the promise of witnessing the new kid's humiliation. Carson, Damon, and Tyler stood in the center of the informal ring, looking pleased. "With the turnout. Didn't think you'd show," Carson called as Alex approached. Alex set down her backpack carefully. "You wanted to talk." "Talk? Right," Carson laughed. "Actually, we thought we'd educate you on how things work around here." Damon cracked his knuckles theatrically. Lesson 1. Respect the hierarchy. Alex took a measured breath, scanning the crowd. No teachers in sight, no security cameras in this blind spot behind the building, just as they'd planned. "I've tried being reasonable," Alex said, loud enough for everyone to hear. "I've asked to be left alone. This is your last chance to walk away." The crowd murmured at the unexpected declaration. Carson's face darkened. "Are you threatening me?" "I'm offering you an option." Tyler stepped forward. "Enough talk." He lunged with a wild haymaker that Alex sidestepped easily. Tyler stumbled, thrown off balance by the missed connection, and turned with an angry growl. "Lucky dodge," he spat, advancing more cautiously. Alex remained perfectly still, hands relaxed at the sides. When Tyler attacked again with a flurry of punches, Alex deflected each one with minimal movement, never striking back, just redirecting the force away. The crowd grew quiet as the one-sided assault continued. Tyler, increasingly frustrated, launched a powerful kick aimed at Alex's midsection. In one fluid motion, Alex caught his leg, twisted, and sent him sprawling to the ground. "Stay down," Alex advised calmly. Tyler scrambled up, face flushed with humiliation. Damon joined the fray, both boys circling Alex now. They attacked, simultaneously from different angles. Alex moved like water between them, using their momentum against them, sending Damon crashing into Tyler. Still, Alex hadn't thrown a single punch. "Enough," Carson barked, stepping forward. "So you know a few tricks. Let's see how you handle a real fighter." He shrugged off his Letterman jacket, revealing arms corded with muscle, a wrestler's build. He approached with the confidence of someone who had never lost a fight. "Last chance," Alex warned. Carson smirked and launched a textbook double-leg takedown. But where others had fallen, Alex pivoted, using Carson's forward momentum to flip him completely over. He landed hard on his back, the impact knocking the wind from his lungs. The crowd gasped. Carson rose, fury in his eyes, all pretense of playfulness gone. He attacked with real intent now, using his wrestling skills to try to grapple and control. Alex met each attempt with precise counters, moving with an economy of motion that spoke of years of dedicated training. When Carson overextended on a punch, Alex finally struck back, a perfectly placed palm strike to the sternum that sent him staggering backwards, followed by a sweep that took his legs out from under him. He hit the ground hard, Alex standing over him in a ready stance. "How?" Carson wheezed, struggling to breathe. 8 years of Wing Chun under Sifu Lee in San Francisco, Alex said quietly. 3 years of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Portland. 2 years of Muay Thai in Sacramento, and a lifetime of training with my father, who was a competitive MMA fighter before you were born. The crowd was dead silent now. At my last school, 3 boys like you decided to corner me in the parking lot. One of them pulled a knife. Alex's voice remained steady. He spent 2 weeks in the hospital. I spent 3 months fighting expulsion and criminal charges while their parents tried to sue my family into oblivion. Alex stepped back, allowing Carson room to stand. I don't want to fight, I never do, but I will protect myself. Alex looked around at the gathered students. That goes for anyone who needs protection. This stops now. The bullying, the threats, all of it. Carson had regained his feet, rubbing his chest where the palm strike had landed. You think this changes anything? My father will be very interested in the video evidence of his son orchestrating an assault, came a new voice. Mr. Abernathy stepped into the circle, phone in hand. I've been recording since you invited Ms. Chen to this little gathering. I'm sure the school board, including your father, Mr. Williams, will find it educational. Carson's face drained of color. Everyone disperse, Mr. Abernathy ordered. Except you 3. He pointed to Carson, Damon, and Tyler. And you, Miss Chen, my classroom, now. As the crowd broke up, Noah and Megan approached Alex. Noah seemed at a loss for words. Incredible, Megan finished. Why didn't you tell us? Alex shouldered her backpack. It's not something I advertise. Ms. Chen, Mr. Abernathy called. We're waiting. In Mr. Abernathy's classroom, the 3 boys sat sullenly while the teacher made phone calls to parents and administrators. Alex waited quietly, preparing for the familiar aftermath. Suspensions, meetings, possibly another move. While we wait for the parents to arrive, perhaps you could explain yourself, Ms. Chen, Mr. Abernathy said, setting down his phone. Self-defense isn't against school policy. No, but organizing a fight club behind the gym certainly violates several regulations, he replied, looking pointedly at Carson. However, that wasn't what I was asking about. You have remarkable skills for someone so young. Alex hesitated. My father believes in being prepared. Prepared for what exactly? Life. Mr. Abernathy leaned back in his chair. I knew your father, you know, many years ago, when he was competing professionally. I was covering the circuit for a sports magazine before I became a teacher. Alex's surprise must have shown on her face. Michael the Ghost Chen, known for his almost supernatural ability to avoid damage while inflicting precise, devastating counters. Mr. Abernathy smiled slightly. I see the apple didn't fall far from the tree. The classroom door opened, and Principal Vaughn entered, followed by 3 sets of irate parents, and finally, Michael Chen in his work clothes, face carefully neutral. As he assessed the situation, Mr. Abernathy claims to have evidence of an altercation, the principal began. I have video of these 3 young men attempting to assault Ms. Chen, Mr. Abernathy corrected, holding up his phone, who, I might add, showed remarkable restraint. Carson's father stepped forward, every inch the school board member in his tailored suit. My son says this girl provoked them. The video suggests otherwise, Mr. Williams. Let's see it then. Damon's father demanded, police chief's badge visible on his belt. Mr. Abernathy played the recording. The room fell silent as they watched the one-sided confrontation, with Alex repeatedly offering the boys a chance to walk away before defending herself with clinical precision. As you can see, Mr. Abernathy concluded, Ms. Chen used minimal force necessary for self-defense. The boys, however, clearly orchestrated this confrontation. Principal Vaughn's face had grown increasingly grave. Chief Foster, Mr. Williams, Mr. Reed, I believe we need to discuss appropriate consequences for your sons. 2-week suspensions at minimum. Now wait just a minute, Carson's father began. Unless you'd prefer I take this evidence to the superintendent, the principal suggested. Or perhaps the local news would be interested in how certain students seem to operate under different disciplinary standards than others. The parents' protests quieted. As for you, Ms. Chen, Principal Vaughan continued, while self-defense is permitted, we cannot condone students taking discipline into their own hands. 3 days of after-school detention. Michael Chen finally spoke. That seems reasonable. The meeting concluded with chastened parents escorting their sullen sons away. In the parking lot, Alex and her father walked in silence toward their car. You handled yourself well, Michael said finally. You're not mad, that you defended yourself without excessive force, that you gave them every opportunity to walk away. He shook his head. I've spent years teaching you control, Lexi. Today, you showed it. Alex felt a weight lift that she hadn't realized. She'd been carrying, so we don't have to move again. No, Michael smiled slightly. I think we've found a place where you might actually be able to finish the school year, especially now that certain parties understand the consequences of bothering you. Dad, yes. I've been thinking about starting a self-defense class for students who need it. Mr. Abernathy said he'd sponsor it. Michael considered this. Teaching others what you know. Alex nodded. So they never need to use it. The best victory is the one you never have to fight for, she finished, completing his favorite saying. 2 weeks later, Alex stood in the school gymnasium facing 15 students, including Noah, Megan, and surprisingly, a subdued-looking Carson. The first rule of self-defense, Alex began, is awareness. The second is de-escalation. Fighting is always the last resort. She caught Mr. Abernathy's approving nod from where he monitored the class. Today, we'll start with how to stand properly. Your stance is your foundation. As Alex moved among the students, correcting positions and demonstrating techniques, she felt something she hadn't experienced in a long time. The sense of possibly belonging somewhere, not as the quiet new kid hiding deadly skills, but as someone who could use those skills to make things better. Carson approached her after class, awkwardness radiating from him. That palm strike thing you did, could you show me how that works? Alex studied him. Searching for any hint of the bully from weeks before, she found only genuine curiosity. Sure, she said finally. It's all about proper body alignment. As she demonstrated the technique, Alex realized that the weight she'd carried for so long, the burden of restraint, of hiding, of always being ready to move on, had finally begun to lift. Here, in this unlikely place, she might actually find not just peace, but purpose. The fighting skills her father had taught her to protect herself could now protect others. And perhaps, in teaching restraint rather than aggression, she might help break a cycle that had claimed too many victims already. It wasn't the ending she'd expected when she'd walked through Riverdale High's doors that first day, but as she corrected Carson's stance and saw the flicker of respect in his eyes, Alex decided it might actually be better.